Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So this is me. I'm Yannick. I'm the CEO of Fuckup Nights. So business is a little bit like love. It's fun as long as you're passionate. It can cost you a lot of money, and it will most likely fail. It's tough news, but it's true. People normally don't marry the first person they meet. The same way first company attempts don't tend to survive. And stats talk a little bit by themselves. Up to 90% of startups fail. However, success in marriage is a little better. Only 60% of marriages fail. So if you want to succeed in life, you either work for someone else or you marry someone with money. I haven't done any of them. So the problem is that people don't talk enough about business failure. And that's a little bit what pushes us to do Fuckup Nights. I don't know if you guys know about Fuckup Nights, but if I had to use one slide to explain what we do at Fuckup Nights, it would probably be one slide that is not showing up right now. Fuckup Nights. Okay. Well, basically, in Fuckup Nights, we want to show... Is there something happening with my slides? Okay. So at least you know you have to really marry someone with money. Okay, so in Fuckup Nights, we try to bring light to those stories that are hidden, that no one tells. Basically, in each session, 3 or 4 speakers explain a failure story using 10 images and 7 minutes. And let's see if I can show you a little bit what goes next. Okay, so people don't talk about business failure. And okay, there's a little bit of delay. I'm sorry about that. If that happens to someone, it has to be to me for sure. I'm going to wait until it works so I can continue. There you go. So that is Fuckup Nights. So in the first image, you can see what people think their business is, what companies think their own business are and their families, and what the investors think the company really is. But in reality, companies look more like the second image there. And those are the stories we want to show at Fuckup Nights. The ones that are honest, the ones that are transparent, the ones that are real, and the ones that people normally don't tell. I'm going to show you a little video that explains how it all started. There you go.
This is the story of 5 friends. It was a Friday night in 2012 in Mexico City. After several mezcales, the friends decided they'd heard enough about success, and each decided to share a story about their failed projects. The conversation was so inspiring that they decided to do it again, but this time with even more friends. 2 weeks later, they did it again. The 5 friends all invited their friends, and they asked 3 people to share their biggest failures. That was the first Fuckup Night. Sharing stories of failure was liberating. It was fun and authentic. So the friends decided to keep it going and organize Fuckup Nights once a month. Turned out that people all over the world wanted to bring Fuckup Nights to their city. So the 5 friends decided to take their project seriously and set a goal: to bring Fuckup Nights to the world. In April 2015, Fuckup Nights is celebrating reaching 100 cities all over the world, with a presence on every continent, except Antarctica. Today, Fuckup Nights is the most active creators movement on the planet. Each month, more than 10,000 people worldwide make time to go to Fuckup Nights and listen to 3 people publicly share their failures. The movement is dedicated to 3 kinds of people: those who have failed, those who will fail, and the liars. Free your failure. The world will thank you.
Okay, so Basically, the movement was born like a very underground thing in Mexico City. It only happened in that city for up to 6 months, and then they opened up social media platforms, and one city, which was San Sebastian in Spain, decided to join the movement. So that was the first city replicating the movement. Then step by step, other cities wanted to join the movement, and we're now present in 170 cities in 64 countries, and we have Fuckup Nights in 25 different languages. Probably you can spot German over there. That's a massive mural they made for our 4th anniversary saying I fucked up in all our 25 different languages. And you're probably thinking, okay, that's cool, but how do you guys make money if you make money? And well, we do a little bit, not much, to be honest. We have 4 different kinds of revenue streams. So in the first place, we charge sponsors to have presence on our events. That could be a local event, that could be in a whole country or in a whole region, not worldwide yet. Anyone? Then we have private events. We take the format of Fuckup Nights to a corporation, and we've done private editions for, I don't know, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Google, IBM, different companies, normally for the human resource departments. Then we charge each of those cities a membership, which is $20 per month. That basically helps us covering some operational costs. And lastly, we do research. So we investigate the reasons behind business failure through a research arm, which is called the Failure Institute. And in a little bit, I'm going to explain you a little bit more about how it all works there. And I want to show you now a quick video that our organizers from all around the world made to us when we reached 100 cities.
Es del equipo Fuckup Bucaramanga en nuestra tercera versión acá en nuestra ciudad. Un saludo a toda la gente Fuckup y a todos los Fuckupers del mundo.
Hi, this is Meredith.
And Akshay.
And we're saying hi for the first time from Washington, D.C.
From Monclova.
Hola, desde Salta, Argentina.
Hello from the Fuckup Nights, Pristina, Republic of Kosovo.
Čestitala?
Čestitova! Še enkrat.
Ok.
Čestitova!
Čestitava za doseženih 100 mest, ki sodelujejo v FUN
A ti
projektu.
imaš angliško verzijo.
Sorry, I have the English version. Okay, we congratulate you on the number of 100 that we have reached for the Fucked Up Nights.
Čestitova!
Those were my favorites.
Congratulations, that's it.
So we were talking about business failure in so many countries and so many times. We attended so many events and we heard so many stories that people asked us, hey, why companies fail? And to be honest, we had no idea. We had some notions. I mean, we heard a lot of stories about people failing because they didn't sign a proper contract. That actually happened to us in the past. We heard some stories about people launching when it was too early. They weren't prepared to launch. And, okay, one more time. Then we heard as well a lot of times that people had problems with their business partner. So it's very important to choose who you want to work with. But to be honest, that was just supposing that were the main reasons. There was no data before, just stories. So we decided to really study the cases of business failure in Mexico. So we partnered up with a research center and a university, and we investigated the main reasons why companies fail in Mexico. So we can see companies mainly fail because of financial, administration, and marketing problems. Then if we break down finances, it was broken down before, we can see people normally fail because they have insufficient income to survive. That means they run out of money before the company starts to operate. So they expect their earnings to come earlier than they actually do. And when it's just about to work, they have to shut down because they run out of resources to pay rent, salaries, and bills. Number 2 reason is excessive operational expenses, which means thinking you're Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street and burning money when there's no need to do so and when you don't have it. People rent offices in trendy neighborhoods to show off to their clients before even having clients, and it happens all the time. People go on business trips when they could do a Skype call, or they go on an expensive dinner when they could just avoid it and have lunch at home or dinner at home. Then poor money management goes hand in hand. Then we saw before, slides are a bit crazy, sorry about that, but financing problems, so lack of loans or lack of information about loans, and delays in client payments. Companies pay you, at least in Mexico, in 3 or 6 months, and that really screws a startup. Then we gathered all this information, which is a bit more extended, that research, and we published it in a book, along with other cool failure stories. We called it, obviously, the Fuckup book. And it was a massive success. People loved it, and business incubators and accelerators, governments, universities asked us to replicate those studies on demand on a specific industry, on a specific country. And that was the beginning of the Failure Institute. So now, here there was a video that they already told me it doesn't work, so I'm not even going to try to click it. But the Failure Institute is the world's first research center fully dedicated to the study of business failure. What we do is, we are also now working on the Global Failure Index, which is a program where we want to gather all the information we generate at Fuckup Nights, put it on a think tank, and give this think tank all the papers in the world that talk about business failure, and be able, through these massive platforms, to identify trends on failure, or to contrast information, or to compare why companies fail in this company, in this industry, or not in this industry, but in this country, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So finding failure really, really matters. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples. Then there's one example here, which is a terrible example, and I think we can skip that one. We'll see. Second example, geology. Geology studies crystal faults to predict earthquakes. Then structural engineering studies breakages to prevent future disasters again. Cybersecurity studies system failure. So it was well known that companies hire hackers to identify what's lacking in that company. There's an example I really love from Abraham Wald. So Abraham Wald was a mathematician that he was asked by the Allies to increase the success of the planes going on missions. So when he arrived to the Navy, they told him, OK, planes are arriving with a lot of damage in the wings and in the body, so we should probably reinforce those areas of the plane, because that means they are more exposed. And unlike they told this, Abraham Wald completely disagreed, and he said, we need to reinforce completely the opposite, because we're not studying the planes that are not arriving. We're not studying the failure planes. We're just studying the successful ones. So we need to reinforce those parts that are completely unscratched, meaning that if this plane would have been touched on one of those parts, it probably wouldn't be able to make it back home. So in general, people think we, ironically, Abraham Val died on a plane accident. So people think we love business failure. We actually don't. I mean, failing sucks. It is a terrible thing. People even commit suicide in some cities and in some circumstances when they fail at a business. But we think it's even worse not learning from those experiences. So in Fuckup Nights and the Failure Institute, we try to make people take more informed decisions, and I'm not saying better decisions because we don't know yet, but at least more informed decisions through the knowledge we generate. And not only for people, but also for business, governments, and academia. So thank you very much for your time, for listening, and please share the failure.